they can come out on top. Quick predictions, Blake?
Yeah, 2-1 for Big. It's definitely going 3 maps. I don't think either team will be able to 2-0 it here today.
We're set for a long one here, much like our first series of the day. Virtus.pro on the T-side start of Dust2. Big getting off with the utility on tabseN and Tizian. Tizian's also got the defuse kit as well. Double flash and smoke for Sanji. Smoke Molotov for Yakinda. Out to the default into the tunnels.
And for Big, having a fair bit of influence out towards both the mid and B side position. Got one player on A of Sirison that's pretty much got to defend out from the short position and from long with that early contact out from mid gathering the info. But for VP, the majority of presence is here in the tunnels.
Flashbang's over, going to draw some attention over from the Big side. Looking in from Keto. Centaurus playing on the off angle, backed up towards the doorway. The smoke in. Gets him out of dodge. Kicker. Bomb on his back, going to be very careful about this contact face. They have seen Yakinda at least. They'll try tap him, but a little bit too late for Keto on the face.
And now it's got to come to the rotations, or the VP try and fake it a little bit. They've still got a presence in the upper tunnel, so this could be a short fake to dive mid to B.
James, I provide a little bit of support as the smoke goes down towards the CT spawn. Flashing, catches Taurus. Fully white, tabseN. Yeah, into the open, nades up. Damage should be done pretty nicely as well, but they look away from the T-side force, so James can find the opening kill of the matchup. tabseN caught back, Centaurus can't land any headshot of his own right. Tizian struggling into the back lines, overwhelmed, 3 picks for nothing. VP might have tanked that nade, but Big are going to tank the round.
Yeah, Buster even aggressive to deal with Sirison, and what a pistol to come out for Virtus.pro. And you're right about that. Big did everything right when it came to the utility, but they just could not find the jewels and find any kind of return frags.
Keto now left to just try and figure out what he can even do. Can he even do anything at all in this pistol? It doesn't seem likely. Glock switched out to try fight on towards Buster, at least get one good pick back in. So his own matchup started with 2 kills to his name, but not a pistol for Big. VP, fantastic stuff. And mostly I want to say that was down to the mistakes of Big there on the B doors.
Yeah, it seemed that even though the nade damage was really there, they still got caught sleeping a little bit, not in the best positions at all. Almost like because no sort of sound cue came out or no sort of early swing with that nade through, that mid was actually open. There weren't any players there, but that was just all misdirection.
VP get themselves going first and foremost. AKs, Galil's, Mac-10 in for Yakinda, and the Deagles back out, of course, for the Big side. Scout involved for CSGO. Tries if we can find some sort of face out here towards the mid control, but can't really catch anything for Virtus.pro.
And we know that Sirison's one of those guys that give him the AWP, give him the scout, and that's it. He will not take an SMG, will not take an M4 at any sort of opportunity. Does get quite close to some of these spam shots through the doors, but just hoping for something lucky.
That timing was well placed there from Virtus.pro. Put the smoke up, evade the kill or the tag from CSGO. Flashes over as the SMG start pushing alongside Kickert's AK behind him. Second player also there to back up the SMG. Get that money involved for Yakinda if at all possible. He's 3 players without head Kevlar, 1 player without any Kevlar at all. CSGO scout up in the corner, going to try and look for the kill. And he actually does that on Yakinda, as well as tabseN's nade following James. 5 versus 3. This is kind of around for Big.
No, this doesn't look good at all.
Oh,
tabseN
no.
with the P250. How's this all happened?
Buster's head's been seen. CSGO gets tagged, but no casualties taken by Big. This is all gone to hell for VP. Sanji faces, gets dealt with by Tizian. Buster in a 1 versus 5. That is a hell of a response from the CT side.
Oh my goodness, no one falls, no one drops. tabseN at that kind of range with the P250 has now picked up the AK, knows exactly where Buster is. There is a bit of a trade back, so there is some damage being done, but this player's everywhere.
Yeah, no way he gets out of this. Absolutely no way. 15 seconds, like, even if he had the time to play with, he wouldn't be able to win the fight. And then the CTs are going to wait here. They're just going to hold back and try kill him after time to just destroy the economy of VP.
Now, that would be the worst outcome possible, is that they lose the anti-force by reset and then they lose a player after time. They're going to go hunting. There should be no way Buster stays alive. Really well done there from Big. And it all started with Sirison, the nade, but tabseN in particular.
CSGO, that scout and everything. What is that? Just dead blind, still gets the kill. That is ridiculous. But that is a round for Big, and a very nice way to set themselves back up here and try and take that pistol basis away from Virtus.pro. AK's in, Galil's out, Scout's out. SMG for tabseN still will be a bit of a weakness in that respect. Facing in for CSGO, looking down range, seeing nothing up towards T-spawn.
VP just working in towards a bit of an upper tunnels, just default, but really, when you look at what they've got to offer, they don't have much at all.
Minute and a half to play. Virtus.pro loading into the tunnel's entrances and being very passionate about this, knowing that they could, in theory, steal something away from Big, but obviously their chances are very slim and get away with a HP disadvantage. They do get a dink off in his in at least, so there is that.
And we know that, what was it, Big, really early into when they made those roster changes of Sirison and Keto coming into the lineup. They won one of those DreamHack Open events in North America.
Yep.
Very, very early. That was sort of when all the LAN sort of experience started moving away and we went back towards online. So we do know that for Big, with this lineup in tow, they can do very well on LAN.
Been a while since we've seen a definitive LAN environment, and as well as that, remember that DreamHack Open is not quite an IEM Cologne.
Yeah.
So definitely a different level of play by comparison for Big. Virtus.pro pressing on towards the B side, going to converge in. Crunch out from the doors and from the tunnels. Keto does find the first kill on Buster just outside of the tunnel's entrance. The bomb yet to commit. It's on a very low HP Sanji here, so he's got to be careful. He needs his teammates to try and open up the site. And Yakindar does find a frag on Tizzy and taps and forces forward. Gets that tray, looks towards window, sees his man, gets Shame as well. 3 players left, 1 man now for Kicker. Can't do much in this one. It's a second for Big as they take the lead.
Just start getting a bit of a spiral going, just wrecking the economy, making sure we don't go in that back and forth nature. And for Virtus.pro, just even in this round, it's a bit of a throwaway. Just hope that you get it over and done with, get the rifles in quickly. But for Big, it's a very good response after losing the pistol in a huge, huge way. That was such a dominant start to the map for VP, and then just the return by the Germans.
Scouts in. It's Big. Wait for position, wait for shots out. Honestly taken, of course, VP know that they're at a major disadvantage with the basic eco inbound. The flashes will try to get them forward, at least try and set something towards the mid control, try and overwhelm any CT players that are aggressive in that position. But fortunately for the Big side, there is no such luck.
And I'm very keen to see Xantares on LAN. For years and years, people have always said, oh, Xantares the onliner, but so far in the play-ins, he was pretty impressive.
Not impressive in that particular phase, though. A bit of a cast discuss there for yourself, Tweg. CS and Keto there to clean things up, though. 2 kills for Keto, overwhelmed by James AK picked up. So now the bomb can go down, and I think that's actually not even that bad for an eco.
Jeez, this is a great eco. 2 kills and a bomb plant when you've got really no investment whatsoever. There could even be more.
Buster can't grab the AK, unfortunately. The Nader tabs will finish up the job. Glock comes in close, think down, M4 picked up, looking towards Tizian. Prior to the flashbang, he's got it to a 1 versus 1. And Searson makes his way forward, M4 just playing Ring of Roses. He's seen the shadow, pre-fires for the Quadra, an eco clutch for Buster. And this game is just back and forth from the word go.
Oh my goodness, how does that happen? Big, they're just up against Clocks, and Virtus.pro split their way out from the mid position into the B side. They get the bomb down, and the 1v3 clutch comes through. What a hold from Buster.
Oh, that's not encouraging, but again, characteristic for this start given the circumstances. Sandy tagged up early, at least by the Big side, of course, forcing the issue back with two AWPs and 3 Deagles. Not the most confident of buy-ups, it's lopsided, but it can still do damage, and it has done so far.
Yeah, Big will be frustrated knowing the result of how that last one panned out. Long take coming through from Virtus.pro, and for Big, at least they've got a very, very decent stack on the A side.
Flash forward. James looking down range here. His own AWP set in against the Big side. I know they have at least 1 AWP in play, and now Deagles will just spam forward as Xantares. Tagging Yakindar to 55, and continuing to face to do even more, but so far so little gain in the frag department. 60 seconds left.
There's still a little bit of util for the CTs to work with in terms of that smoke and the incendiary, so if there's a lot of time wasting going on for VP, Big can start slowing the clock down.
Well, looking down range for James, still can't catch anything. Smoke set at the ready. Deagle spam for Xantares, still not finding anything out of this. He's kind of desperate to get something out of this, but still no one giving contact. 30 seconds remaining. Xantares taps up Kicker going to rush around the corner, AK in hand. Tizian's going to burn, kill on the AWP. Great sequence there from Kicker, doubles up on the headshot as well. And deals with Big pretty effectively. 2-man advantage, they're heavily tagged.
Keita with the AWP just being pressured in. So many people peeking. Kicker getting 3 in the round.
And that forces Big to fall back and save. Lost one of those AWPs, do not want to lose the second one. And I guess for Centaurus holding onto the Kevlar is going to be a bit better for them going into the eco. As VP will find 3 and reclaim the lead here against the Germans. Kazakh core have, well, definitely put in the hard yards so far in this one. And I wouldn't be surprised if we went back and forth still. Yeah.
It's a very, very likely potential, I want to say. And it has that feeling that Dust2 is going to go down in that sort of way. Both teams really hammering home in terms of the economy game. Kick it. Really, really good sequence for him just to get up close and personal towards that ramp position. Just deal with all the players down on the site itself. And for Big, now you start thinking in the back of your mind, oh, if we would have just converted that anti-eco, if we would have just not given ourselves 1v1s up to Buster, because that one round that they've lost has now led to follow-ups for VP.
Yeah. Well, plenty of potential in terms of the ecos, the AWP set for Searson. Just the basics on the pistols, the 2 Deagles, the Tabson and Centaurus. So a little bit of firepower for a couple of the pistol players here for the Big side. Very little in terms of this round. VP should be able to claim 4 at least.
Searson aggressive with the AWP, just waiting for Tabson to go down so he can boost up. Oh, a little bit late to that position, so they're just going to miss the timing onto Yakinda.
Still taking face. Will Yakinda back up? Yes, he will, and get the headshot. Nicely done. Searson a bit too twitchy and not looking the right way at the right time. Couldn't adjust in time. Great opener for the AK. Drops one of the AWPers. Tabson's going to pick it right back up, though.
And ever since the IEM Katowice event, Yakinda has really been out of form, has not been able to deliver the same sort of T-side entry success % rates that we see. Crazy stuff from him. This could be the event where everything turns around.
Tizian falling out of position as well. That pistol away from position over on the short control, knowing the VP are out here and they're going to try press the issue. Smokes down and rotations in from CT spawn. Tabson still has that AWP set towards Kara as well, so there's potential for a big play from him, but the bomb's not committing here for VP. It might go towards the B side.
It's been very fakey for VP on this T side, just trying to sell the fade the best they can. Great shot from Tabson.
Nicely done. Caving in Kicker's head. Coming down here, going to make their way in towards the mid to B play. Only one CT to find here. Centaurus, Deagle, into the corner. Ready for the B door's face. Will Yakinda check here? No, he won't. Deagle taps forward, only gets one frag. Jame there with a fantastic response. Still a couple of rifles for the CTs to work with, and they're doing tag damage.
And might as well look for exit frags from here. I don't think it's likely that they'll go in for the complete retake. Maybe if a kill presents itself.
Tizian's out towards the tunnel's position. In theory, could fight on towards Jame, but got to land that first shot so quickly. Missed shot on the AWP as well. Flick also doesn't connect it. Tizian having information to work from. Smoke down the stairs for the T-side line as he swings back at the wrong moment. Jame gets the kill, and now they have to back off, save that AK. That I don't think is too bad for an eco.
Yeah, they could be happy with that. A couple of saved-in weapons, the AWP being saved in again for a follow-up. A Big, giving their lead up even further now to VP for them to go up 4-2. And in terms of money, it looks pretty healthy here for Virtus.pro. They only lose a couple of players if Yakinda and Kicker. Got guys getting close towards a 10K, probably on average about the 6-7K marker.
A lot of money here for VP. Just the rebuy on several players to get the rifles back in for the men that fell. Big will take the first tactical of the matchup. An appropriate time to do so. Started off fantastic on the pistol, and then, well, since that point, it's been back and forth. VP are the ones that pulled ahead in the end. 6 rounds deep, and there will be a rebuy, of course, for the CT side. There should be just about enough cash to get the drops in.
And you mentioned Big sort of diving down into some of those lower-end events. They've had some shocked losses recently.
Yeah.
The playoffs of ESEA Premier is probably the one that most people look at. They were the favourite to qualify back for Pro League, and then they lose to Sinners. Okay, fair play. They won the entire event. They got that qualification. Then they lose to LDLC. We know in another event they lost to Skade. So Big have tried to dip down, and the success hasn't massively been there.
Yeah, and those problems could come back to haunt them. Well, they have been making runs to solidify themselves at a space in the top, in the tier 1 sort of level of Counter-Strike. it's not a very high tier 1 position, you know. It's not like they're going into grand finals or top 4s in all the S tier events. Smash around the corner, Tizzy and a Tabson start leaning up and looking down into the long control. Trying to establish a deep run here with a map victory above VP to start.
Well, Virtus.pro have done very well with changing the pace. Sometimes you get a little bit more aggression towards the early contact. Haven't really seen anything in terms of early long control for the T side. Unless they've got some really good spawns, it's mainly been centered around the short position. Rumbu's coming out to bait out the AWP, but Siriuson's back at Goose.
Yeah, very passive angle. He's waiting for them to face directly out of short as opposed to looking into the gap, which is what that run boost is there to try and fake out. Tabson spraying onto Xbox, catching Buster for 30 points of HP. Not quite a kill for him as on the CTs will hold back. VP set and ready to go for the XE.
Sirison still hasn't fired, so they don't actually know that he's here, but now the util's coming through.
Tabson finally gets the pick back into mid control. Sanji to full. Sirison, very passive angle. The Molotov should force him away. He's forced to respoke it. Instead, start looking up here at the ramp box. Boost involved. T-side players so close. Hasn't seen the man over at elbow. The bomb plant can be secured as a result of this, so 5v4 retake.
They need to try and get some frags. Tabson coming quite quickly up towards ramp. 5-on-3 now.
Buster gets one trade involved. Keto responds towards James. Yakindar now all alone and standing. You mentioned his form, you mentioned his performance, but he has had clutches in the past. This will not be one of those rounds. It's the third for big.
It's still quite expensive coming through for the big side, only getting away with a couple of players. They do, though, pick up the double AWP setup. One of those AWPs being recovered over from James, meaning that going into the next rifle, they can start really being able to farm up a little bit more money. VP lost a lot before they even got to the site in that one.
That's big with a single round difference between them and VP. Right kills at the right times and not able to hold their own for the T-side forces. They had a bit of a weird scenario in that with losing that opening kill and didn't really have a lot of presence on the A site, I think. Retake coming in easy for the big clan. Double AWPs will stay in for the next round, but for the moment it's a small technical pause before we get any further in the matchup. Again, as usual, bring you details as we know it. What we do know is the economy game for VP enables them to go for a buy.
And what I know, G2 versus Complexity, starting off over on the mainstream. Vertigo, first map of that series, so keep an eye out on that one as well. See how the bracket continues for Group A. We know that all of the matches that we've got to start off the day, the early afternoon, early evening, Group A, and then we go into Group B a little bit later on.
Yeah. A lot of interesting action, of course, over the next week, 2 weeks. Of course, group stage week this week, so small tech issue for one of the players involved in server. Hopefully we'll be able to resolve it very quickly. I assume it's a PC problem. Very tense looks on the big side as well at this moment. So I guess for them, you definitely feel like the start of this map up is not the one that they wanted for Dust2, you know?
And what's honestly kind of crazy is that VP and Big have played a lot of the same events this year. Yeah. But they've never had a head-to-head between one another.
It's curious, like, why do you think that is? Do you think like it's just a case of just seeding going perfect or what?
Well, I guess there is a little bit of randomness behind it, but I think VP have probably had some deeper runs over the course of the year than Big have, so that might be why that's coming through, but they played each other a lot last year, but yeah, not at all this year. God, look at Tabs. He's focused, mate.
I can't tell if he's got his eyes closed or if he's just like rolling them because he's frustrated that we're setting a tech pause. It looks like we're ready to go though, so shouldn't be too PO'd, but yeah, Big, a lot to work for in this next round. Again, VP haven't bought yet, but they will buy now, so 4 guns out for the T side.
Yeah, Virtus.pro just trying to see if they can put the impact on pretty much straight away. And I guess for them, opening man advantages before they get in towards the site is going to be a big one. Might even see a little bit of an AWP duel out from mid. James holding the angle for a very long time. Who's going to peek this first?
It's got to be the CT player. The question is, can James land it? And Stearson opts to fall away. Good call, because it was already being watched there. Didn't get that mid position, and therefore will not get the opening pick. Neither will VP, though. AWP leaning up. Yakindar, AK slowing down and starting to walk up to position towards that mid doors. If Stearson seeing the head, he's caught info.
But it's not a lot of info, is it? You've just got one shoulder bait of a player out from Xbox. The AWP might go somewhat aggressive out from the upper tunnels. Tabson's pushing forward to it short.
Flash forward, but Tabson does not peek for it. Yakinda leans up to position as the smokes go down, and he gets suppressed all the same. Smoke involved. Pearson looking over. Starting to lean forward. Shot missed out just to be able to escape. Got to keep his life in this one.
That was really well played from Buster. Just get the lurk smoke down, just try and bait him with the jump, try and force the AWPer further and further back, and that at least gives him a little bit more safety up towards short. Big are now retaking long.
Got Sandy still held here towards the blue boxes. Molotovs are driving away though. Can't quite win the fight against the man in pit. He does the second face, and Tizian gets the kill as a result. Man advantage for Big as the execution comes in towards short for the rest of VP. Nades up, Orp looking in. Kicker catches Towson, but Keto able to respond. So, bomb dropped on site. I think the CTs are aware of it. 17 seconds. VP have got to get it planted soon, and they're going to crab walk their way forward to try and grab it.
Now keep their heads down, make it difficult for the CTs to get any short of shot off, but they've got to get this bomb down.
Plant now on towards short. Can they swing? Can Big get towards it? Kick goes a little bit out in the open. Buster and Zantaris going back and forth. Buster tries to bail out of position. James now with the AWP with it all to do. He's found a kill. Needs to find two more. Looks into the AWPer. Sees his man. Gets the double up and falls back to Gandalf. He's seen where Tizian is. The AUG waiting for a peek out. James trying to bait in some shots. Force the man to make a mistake. He puts some more bangs on the position. And the AWP leads up but doesn't get the connection. Good adjustment not to be.
Oh, that's close. Very, very close. And for Big, they get the retake together. They give a lot of individual fights onto the AWPer. It gets to a stage, though, where we get tied up again.
Even Steven. I did say I wouldn't be surprised if this one went back and forth still. Indeed, it has gone back and forth. 4 apiece. With another rebuy set for VP. AK is coming in at heavy amount of investment. Sanji, I think, has maybe dropped, yeah, an AWP there in spawn. So full on rifles for everybody. Kicker rocking the pistol, I believe. Okay, so there's not quite rifles for everybody here.
A situation where for Big, following up, especially on the city economy, is going to be vital for their success if they want to start getting a bit of a roll going. Virtus.pro, on the other hand, I mean, it's so slow for the majority of these defaults on T-side. Really, really running the clock, and we even saw it in that last round.
Down to the last few seconds here, VP. Able to work with that advantage in the past, but is it going to come to fruition this time? Last round didn't do so. Big. Happy to take it. Now we'll wait for VP's contact here. They're just starting to make their way up towards short.
Haven't baited out a massive amount of utility from the Big side. Yakinda just using that molly flash off angle, trying to force the CTs further and further back. Sirison still wants to get aggressive on the angle, though.
He's got a vision into the short play, but can't see any of the T-side forces, so he opts to fall back instead. Kindar and Kicker. Smokes down, seeming like it will be the set-piece execution coming in, at least for the moment. The bomb and one player's coming out, but it's just those two, not supported by the rest of the VP.
They're just trying to see if they could force a mistake, force an over-aggressive peak, work the default. Yakinda's just going to entry out towards short alone.
Now they stack up towards mid instead. The crossfire's been set up here for the CT forces. Yakinda drops down and gets 2 big frags. Tabson does get 2 on the way out though, so it sets up Keto on the B-side defense. And Searson's Zort's popping off. 2 massive frags for him. Kicker suddenly alone. He's got a bomb on his back, but he has no idea where Keto is. And Big still able to hold the CT defensive and hold the rounds.
Well, we saw Tabson really gave them the early advantage, sort of getting a couple of kills out towards CT. Yakinda getting a couple of trades back, but Searson with the AWP just bought time for Keto to just hold back, passive on the site. Those are some pretty sharp shots.
VP too deep into the CT spawn. Had they focused on getting back towards top mid, then maybe only that one frag would have gone the way of the AWP. The situation of what ifs there for the CIS camp. Pistols into the upgrades. Half buy involved for Virtus.pro. This is definitely not a round for them.
And they've got the util to hopefully allow a close sort of way into the A side. Try and just see if they can get that bomb plant, get that extra little bit of cash injection. But for Big, they've now forced VP on an eco. This is a chance of following up again.
Minute and 20. Walcott, Kicker. Running in alongside Yakindar into that short presence. Watching out towards the mid doors, expecting there to be contact from Tabson. So far, so little given up by the AUG. So, minutes of the clock. Utility down. They're going to go towards that mid to B play, and finally tabseN gets his 2 kills involved. Can't quite make it a triple. He's getting close towards it, though. His teammates are adjusting against it. The bomb's not even in T-side presence, so they're just going to have to leave it and go into this and just kind of get picked apart.
Yeah, this round is over from here. Yeah, you've done a lot of damage onto Xantares and tabseN, but you're not going to turn those into kills, especially when they start playing passive. They can regain the bomb in lower tunnels, but for Big, they're giving them a lot of respect on this eco.
30 seconds. Time continuing to run short. VP again happy to run the timer low, but given this context, they need to either give up their lives or force a clutch out. Preferably the latter, but obviously more realistic for the former. Get that money involved. They drop the bomb. Last player left in James. That's 1 kill, but no more than that. 1 exit. 1 casualty. 6 rounds are Big. Up by 2.
Yeah, Virtus.pro have kept it tight from the start, but we do really need to see them chipping back in going into round 11. Otherwise, Big have got a very good chance of starting to run away with it. And in terms of money, Sirison just hasn't died in what feels like forever, so he's got so much behind him.
Yeah, big greens for him and Keto. M4s and AUG as well. Smokes down. Keto to cross and get into the B site. Sirison with a peek up towards mid, however, catches James' head at the perfect pixel. What a shot.
Yeah, love me one of those. Very, very decent stuff from the CT side. And just even confidence to go for one of those mid picks on Dust2. It looks a very, very good sign for the Germans. And even Keto's thinking about an aggressive move.
Slow movements. Oh, missed shot from Sirison. That's going to cost him. Nikinda is going to try sell him on a very fast play here. Molotov's out, flashing forward, seeing the one man of Tizzy in here. Incendiary's back. Flash forward, nades involved. We'll try and send him packing, but he's not going to hold his position, and eventually will lose his life for it. Meanwhile, Sandy making his way up to position, catches a decent trade. tabseN responds towards it. 3v2 kick attack to 4 points of health. And Big maintain control.
Keto can't over-rotate out from the B side because VP are just faking that they're going short.
55 seconds. How do they go with this? Orb still looking down, expecting there to be some CT presence, but VP seeing a very passive Big, and they are forced to go passive themselves.
And now it just gets so silent. It just really gets slowed down from here. Buster has got to try and bail the situation out because Kicker is just so damn low.
All going to rest on the AK. 1 smoke to put up towards CT, not towards the boost spot. The AWP now knows. Presence here in mid, but is it all a ruse? No further utility to go in here for this hit towards the A site and the AWP. He's got to land this first frag on the first. He gets a tag on tabs somehow. Flick back lands the kill, but now got to deal with Xantares. Touch by HP, can line up the sprays on both players. Tags up and takes down 1. Buster on 4 points of health of his own right. AK involved, taps the bomb, trying to force Xantares to peek forward. He gets that shot for the jump face, and now it's the 1v1 against Keto.
AWP's coming in quickly. The shot should come through. They'll at least give the information over to the pistol, knowing he's so incredibly low. Buster's trying to create the angle.
He's had his head ducked down, but refaces to cost him his life. He should have waited. He should have waited. Costing him the round again, the 7th round for Big. A good effort there from them, but the 2-man alive scenario was very difficult to work with there for the T side. Good shots to take out the player on the side to start, but on the off angle still, Big hold the round.
Well, I'd hate to be an in-game leader and play a team like VP on Dust2, especially when they're on T side, because some of these mid-rounds, you really have no idea what is going on. What do they fake short like 4 times in that round? You think it's short, you think it's mid to B, you think it's short. You just don't know. Xantares is just trying to get as much impact as possible. Keto being set up in that clutch, but still for Big, it's up to 7, but it's a close round.
Utility inbound here, the Molotov's back. Kicker bursts through, Incendiary to try and force him away at the blue boxes. Tizian gets his kid involved, starts things off fantastic. Man set to fall. Another great opener here for the CT side.
Kindar looking for another one of these entry frags out to the short position, and he has been pretty successful so far. Unfortunately, he's been taking so much space by himself that normally he gets a 1-for-1, and there is no opportunity for the T's to just work on the fact and start something a little bit more tempo-based.
Nice Incendiary keeps VP at bay. Citizen's going to reposition and try challenge onto that AWP again. Is very passive off angle. Scenery to put back here at the end of the smoke, try and stop them from making their way forward. It will be successful for the moment, do a little bit of damage. One player drops out, Yakindar's been seen. The AWP shot misses. The Sanji finds Tabson out into the longhouse position. The CT is getting a bit too overly aggressive as the AWP looks for his fight on Buster, gets his kill involved. There's still a player at CT though, as James picks up Zantaros with his own AWP. It's a 3 versus 3.
Now, Sirison saw that player go down towards CT, but he still doesn't really know exactly where he is. Has the idea of where you can be. The NWP is just hitting shots like there's no tomorrow.
Another fantastic one for Sirison, now up to clutch it of his own right. They're going to rotate into the B site, and now it's all going to rest on Keto's AWP, or is it all a ruse? You can't quite tell. Players going in and out of the tunnel's footsteps. Heard AWP set and ready. Good shot drop Sanji, and now it's James. It's been all the AWPs in this round. Can his AWP come up with something absolutely amazing here? 10 seconds to do so. The answer's no.
I'm just so lost. I just don't know what is going on here on the T side. You've got a situation in which the bomb's just trying to go quickly into the upper tunnels, but then James looking to cut the rotation off from mid, and while that's great if you can open up B and get that kill, if that kill doesn't come through, there's nothing James can do. The bomb just gets dropped. There's no time about it. VP making so many mid-round calls.
What was that you said a moment ago? You'd hate to be in IGL against VP because you just can't get a read on what they're doing. Well, you're struggling yourself and you've got a bird's eye view. So tactical pause taken on the T side line. I guess appropriate to do so because what was a back and forth affair has gone all in the favor of Big.
And we know they play this way in Dust2. We know that they are very sort of reaction-based and they do like a lot of sneak attempts and start scrambling the opposition. But even for Big, it doesn't seem like they're in positions where they're gamble stacking or they're making risks. They seem to be having a pretty good chokehold on the situation when it comes to the rotations, and they're not really getting baited that massively to some of these mid-round calls.
8-4, Big have the half advantage on CT side. VP forced invest involved here for round 13. Very characteristic, I guess, for them to go for a forced buy. I mean, not too shocking to me. But what can they get out of it? Is there any way that they can affect things? Is there any way that they can change the pace of this matchup and stop Big from really getting into a confident position and spiraling out of control here?
Well, Zantaros just trying to back up his teammate as quickly as they can. These overly aggressive plays are getting a lot of information, but no kills as of yet.
Smokes and nades. Damage not done, however, by the CT forces. The Kindar with his Mac 10 catches off Zantaros, but Tabson there with a very quick response, so not a threat that they have to worry about too much longer here for Big. And Tizian deals with the AK. Kicker to 4, leaving it to 2 Deagles and an AWP. AWP is up here towards short control, but the AWP Searson picks one of the pistols off. Great frag on Sanji. And the AWP James catches Tabson getting a bit overly aggressive, so VP are finding their moments, but it's a 3v2.
They need to somehow fight an advantage back. They've still got a little bit of time to work with. James is trying to create some sort of fight out from mid, but even Keto is so passive on B.
45 seconds. Smokes down, nades up as well. Very little being seen here as they start walking their way up into the tunnel's entrance, and now it's going to rest on Keto, who's covering off both entryways to the site. The smoke down will suppress towards tunnels for now, but as it clears up, he's going to have to start looking there, and indeed he is now.
Well, Tizian's now got the info that you see nothing out from mid, so that can give Keto a little bit more of an indication of look at the tunnels, but look straight to James instead.
Great timing. The AWP's still watching. Is there a smoke that can go down? No, there's not. Molotov in, jump face, and he lands that leg shot on Buster. Allows Tizian a chance to deny the bomb plant. He sees James instead. The AWP misses his shot as the bomb goes down. Incendiary as well towards window. Should drive the man back in. Might have landed a bit too deep, and indeed it is. Tizian gets his pick. James responds. 2 kills, 3 kills up for him, but Searson makes 2 of his own. So he gets the defuse in and gets the retake for Big.
He's just not missing. He really isn't. And yeah, when you make a quote like that, you think to yourself, he's got to be on like 20 kills or so. They haven't given him a massive amount of opportunity to start fragging, but when he's taking these contacts, he is finding so many clinical connections. Even just a tag up, that long range out from CT, that is not an easy shot to hit at all.
Let's put it this way, right? I think Searson's got 11 frags. Searson's got 11 frags.
Yeah.
I think that all 11 have been impactful.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment to make. Like, that's the kind of AWP that's the kind of AWP game he's playing right now. I'm going to get this pick towards mid and deal with somebody out here in the face, but so far so little given up by VP. They're trying to avoid that AWP duel as much as possible, trying to figure out his position so they can evade him, because they know that if they peek him, they're probably going down.
Out towards long again. Big have just used slight utility, and there's never really long challenges at all here.
Smokes put in to try and suppress in case VP are going out here. They had that one round where they caught an aggressive CT player, but really it's just that lurker in Sanji to cut off any like playmakers for Big. Anyone who wants to try and push down towards top mid. Searson watching with the AWP, meanwhile towards the short presence, flashbang evaded, peeks back in, does get forced back by the utility. Can Yekindar get the kill against him? Nades back, spray goes awry, but he does connect it against the CT side.
Very confident for Yekindar, looking to follow up, doesn't quite find that second. A lot of damage done onto Tizian. They've got a late lockout from top mid, but Sanji gets caught off.
Great kill for Tabson, and that actually bails out the position that Tizian was in. He was kind of sandwiched between T-side forces, and Taurus comes up with another kill on Kicker. 22 HP, so Buster and Jame, 4 versus 2. Jame gets an AWP pick back in, M4 Tabson responds towards it, so once again it's the AWP to clutch it, and it's just not gonna happen. Big looking lights out at 10.
Yeah, they're looking confident and they're hitting their shots where you can't really say the same for VP. I love the approach there, finally, because we've seen at times where the Latvian entry fragger of Yekindar has got an opening kill towards short and they haven't really done anything with it. This time around, it's a little bit more aggressive. They get out towards that short position, try and just get the bomb down, but the lurk play, Sanji gets caught off in top mid. The frags out from long don't get traded back at all. It seems like for Big, they are just overwhelming so consistently here.
Big double digits. VP still stuck on 4. I haven't found a round since round 6, I want to say.
That's 9 in a row.
Yeah. Very big stuff posted up by Big, excuse the pun. VP with one final buy here into round 15. They've got to get something out, I want to say, to carry something to the CT side, because if Big have this kind of a CT half, then what's their T side going to look like?
Nade out towards the upper tunnels could do a lot of damage too.
Oh, that's junky. That's a bit of a favour return back towards them. Zentaris burns the likes of Sandy, but doesn't last long in the defensive. Buster and Kicker can trade him and Tabson. So 4-on-3, Kiko trying to reposition with his AWP. Looking on towards the platform angle, expecting him to be pretty far aggressive, but one jump faces a missed shot with perfectly timed on the flashbang. So bomb can go down, it's retake up for Big.
Yeah, that's an excellent flash, just to be able to try and get them into the site. And for Big, this is going to be a really difficult retake, especially with double AWPs.
4 players set. CT players trying to reposition. They're going for a very big wrap here from the likes of Searson. They're not going to have time, I don't think, to go for this. Smoke down, players making his way up. Can't afford to save, obviously. It's round 15. Tag up on Tizian, though. They are being very passive-aggressive about this. Big needs to go in soon. They're running out of time, and Yekindar's going to catch off Tizian, so it looks like they might just peter out of this half. One frag for Searson, but time is way too far gone here, and they're all going to fall. 10-5 at the half for Big.
And for Virtus.pro, it's at least a little bit of a back end to keep it on a positive, but for Big, it's impressive.
It's a hell of a half for them. 10-5 as we go to the second after the break.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out.
Well, they do end the streak of a massive, massive side there from Big. But is it enough, Jay? It's only 5 rounds up for the Virtus.pro side.
Yeah, a lot of what needs to be done, I think, going into this CT half, and it needs to be just about as good as Big's, I want to say. The pistol round where they're going to have to get started with a decent opening kill for James. Tapping forward initially with his USP out, double flash smoke for Kicker. No kits in play for the CTs. For Big, his utility on Tizzy, and he's already used his couple of flashes. Smoke down to siphon off over at the CT spawn. I imagine they might split B.
Very quick coming through, and even just a goosh up onto Kick It. That's a lot of opening damage being done already.
Nikindar sees several T-side players out here. Can't land a kill shot. Finally gets Tizzy in the fall, but Tabson right up close and personal. And players being suppressed to the back corner. Yekindar comes up with a kill. Kicker also there to bail him out. And a 5-on-2 scenario. Virtus.pro have picked apart Big in this one. Keto trying to force the issue back with 2 of his own, but only 2 of his own. Needed that 3K, and Searson now going to have to rotate back into the A side. There's a line in for him, but he's got to get through Jame.
If he gets his kill, though, he can get the bomb down, but not to be at all. Jame getting very, very fast out to the position of ramp. And for Big, they got a lot of early gooshes in. They got a lot of damage, but in terms of entries on the side, Yakinda was just staying alive for so long.
Yeah, I'm surprised given how awkward it looked for him initially into the mid-control. There was another phase before that kill came in for Tizian. But leaning in towards Zentaris, great adjustment on the headshot and ultimately becoming the central focus of the defensive VP. Now up on a pistol and a big opportunity for a momentum swing.
Saracen on the scout, looking to just see if he can get some early mid-presence, catch off a bit of an over-aggressive peak. And Fakito is actually using that room and that information to go quite aggressive down from mid, get around this Xbox position near the doors.
Time starting to run a little bit shorter here. Big. Much more carefully around their T side. I mean, this was a pretty characteristic part of Virtus.pro as well. Running the timer so low. Still early doors. They face in with the Eagles. Trying to catch off Yakindar, who has gotten a little bit aggressive here for the AUG, but can't quite catch the kill of his own right.
He's got to be careful about just how far he pushes forward, because the last thing they want is to lose that opening man advantage. HG going down to that short position. Ooh. Very, very tanky onto Tabson.
A lot of tanky nades over the course of this matchup for both sides. Tabson dealt with on James' part, flashes over as well. The CT's continuing to hold them back on Big. Tags forward, taps through with the Eagles, but Yakindar and Buster with the crossfire locked out. Yakindar can double up, and bomb's been dropped for Zentaris to clean up, or get cleaned up, I should say. His VP finds 7.
And we saw that in the RMR, Dust2 was played a lot for VP, and they didn't have the best of results on it. Losses to 100 ping Gods, losses to Spirit. They got that 1 win over K23, and then another loss to Entropic on their map pick of that best of 3. So we have seen them being played a lot of Dust2 recently, but not a massive amount of results in terms of wins.
And those little issues, obviously, that we talked about during the pre-game about them during the RMR, how they kind of went out in the last place with a really awkward time ahead of them. Right now, awkward times ahead of them in the case of the Big side. It's pistols going to do a little bit of damage in terms of the mid-control, but the rifles are able to clean up for the moment. So for the time being, Dust2 is going well for VP. 1 HP for Kicker as he holds his own. And now the guns come out for the T side. This will be the real task.
Tabson was very, very consistent out in that first half on CT side with multi-fragging potential and even getting in close and setting up some of his teammates to go in for the clutches. You've got to wonder now, what type of fragging power does he bring on T? He's going to be going in for the Krieg.
Haven't seen much of the Krieg today.
No?
I think this actually might be the first time it's been brought out today, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's about right. See if Tabson can do the gun justice. Himself over to the back lines over in the tunnel. There's some Taris that takes that first peek with the AK instead. Spray through on Kicker as well with the FAMAS to try to respond towards it. Has not been able to catch off a kill. Big start walking up into the mid door. Smokes down, was suppressed. They'll get forced back.
Very good timing there for the CT side kid. I was just thinking about making a little bit of a move forward, but as soon as that re-smoke comes in, he knows his opportunity is gone. And out towards long again, Virtus.pro just taking it. No real fight for the T side at all. It does seem that without those early long spawns, both Big and VP on T have just not been interested in long.
AK set, ready for aggression. Does Buster give up the ghost? Gives up the shoulder, doesn't give up the frag though. Nicely isolated there. Very fantastic duel from him. Dealing with Zentaris effectively. To force a mistake and punish it for it. 5-on-4 for VP.
Oh, Sanji out for the pin position, just gets swung on by Tizian, looking to follow up. James at least finds a trade back.
He's being pressured in from short control as well. Kicko's got to hold off. Searson can deal with him. Jump face on Searson's part, gets a secondary pick back, and now it's a 2 versus 2. That bomb's still got a cross here. Yakindar's going to try block it. Can Searson find his man? No, he cannot. Headshot to execute, and now tabseN's Krieg yet to start in this roundup, and he will not get the chance. It's a 9th of the Lord of VP, and they have brought this back to 1.
Yeah, that was a beautiful double of kills coming through for Yakindar. Searson just trying to work out for the long position, getting some real high-impact frags with the AWP, but it got to a position where you're thinking to yourself, how's that bomb going to get over? Yakindar just playing in and around that smoke, dealing with tabseN too. And you're right about this comeback.
Now it's big yet to start here. Now, VP did hold the presence very early in the first half. Is it going to be a similar case in the second? Will it take Big a few moments to warm up here, or at least to wake up in the T side? The Eagles, just the ball on 3 players. Knocks out for tabseN and for Searson. There's really not a lot to work with here. Face up and into the contact positions over on the short control, but very little other than that.
Yakindar aggressive again. This time around, Xantares is a little bit further back than where he was in the last round.
Broke down AUG spray, kicker, catches Keto. Fantastic stuff. Nades continue to come forward. M4's waiting for the rest of the contact here. Damage has been done to Tizian and Searson face forward of the spray. Back, Yakindar, transfer to Searson. Fantastic. The pistols versus rifles, and it goes about the way you expect it to go. 3 kills for Yakindar in this one, and it's 10 all. VP, 5 on the trot. Big need a response.
He looks really good. He really looks good here on LAN, Yakindar, and that was going to be the big sort of test for me to have a look at VP and have a look at him, because again, these last few months it has been a little bit more of a struggle. Hasn't quite found those heights that he did in the tournament of Katowice and even before that. But out here on Dust2, he is proving ground for Big.
You mentioned him being a bit inconsistent and having a bit of a dip in form as of late for VP, and probably part of the reason why VP have had some awkward results in their tournaments. But right here and now, he does look fantastic. He's not quite top fragging. That honor goes to James, but only a single frag separates those 2 players, so it's not really that far off.
Now, re-smoke out towards that long position. At least Sanji is having a little bit of a difficult time. James just getting wall banged in.
Double dink involved, and they does not do anything to respond either. 100 HP across all those players still for the big side, especially the 2 players in the mid control. Sanji was back at the M4. Here's the footsteps. There's a couple of CTs that can back him up. 3 in total towards this A site itself, and Sanji is going to need them to come up good as he gets killed off initially. Tizian and Xantares. Xantares with 2 fantastic frags. Now Yakindar and Buster, 2 players remaining. One's on the rotation back. Searson does get caught. They haven't checked Goose. 2 players to line up. He gets them both just about. A TK involved in that, and a massive mistake for Big here. Can Yakindar do any more? He's dropped the bomb, sees the player, Tizian gets it, and now it rests on Buster to cut off the bomb again. 1 versus 1 against Xantares.
Oh, this could be a big play. This could be a really, really big moment for Virtus.pro, and time is just getting wasted here. Xantares has got to go back out to the side, get that bomb, and then get it planted.
And Buster knows. He has all the info to work with. He has the bomb presence and everything. 20 seconds, a massive mistake from Big, and Xantares, if he makes even a sound cue, he's got to go quick at this stage. He has to give up information.
He's got no other option. Take the fight straight away, look out towards CT, and Buster's so passive.
Perfect chance, 10 seconds, waiting at the cross. Drop down on the player, bust forward, and Xantares just lands the headshot, just bails out Big, and barely defends the lead.
Okay. Why is Buster not forcing away from that point? Why is he not just hiding back past it? There's like 7 seconds on the clock. As soon as you take that contact, he does not need to continue the fight at all. There was no way in which that bomb was going to get recovered, back to the site and planted in time. That was a very, very big misplay there in the 1v1. And for Xantares, he hits a cracker.
What a huge, huge shot for him. And again, I kind of feel bad for Yakindar in that one because he was so patient, so careful. He really brought it back for his team. But ultimately, working in for the big side to again hold the 11th round. Hold themselves a chance still to maintain the T side forces. Fast plays coming in, VP. 2 players on the B side going to get siphoned off with these smokes out towards the B doors in particular. There's a counter smoke back in from the CT forces that will suppress them over towards tunnels. But 4 players here at mid to B. It's just a case before they act.
They're just waiting for a mistake. Searson so close to that AWP around the smoke. At least they know Kickett's here.
Great shot in. Tabson tagged up. Buster still waiting for an opportunity. Sprays continuously coming forward. Kicker's going to get tagged up. Yakindar and Buster getting those picks in. There's one player right behind that doorway. Yakindar's going to get overwhelmed at last. Centaurus strikes. It's a 3 versus 3 scenario with one player holding back in mid-tiers. Is going to cut off rotations, or at least try to do so. Will burn a little bit and waste one shot.
Oh, they might even go aggressive out from this window position. Tabson gets caught off.
M4 Sanji looking up. Centaurus and Searson. Rotations inbound, flashes over, looks up, shot connects, 2v2 now. Looks back towards the mid to B play. The AWP kicker drops in, dealt with by Centaurus. On for another clutch. Tap burst through, gonna get out of dodge, 29 HP. Does not see where James is coming in from. Is wrapping around the right-hand side. Orders James look back towards the site itself. Centaurus needs his man up close. And the defuse should be stuck in with the kit in play. VP equalize again.
Jeez, these rounds are getting so down to the wire, and for Big, thank goodness they got a bomb plan into that one, because money is sort of on the verge here of being reset, all in around that 4K floater. They'll be able to get a buy up, but they're going to take a tactical, realizing the importance here of converting.
Second tactical for Big, and the right time to call it for me. 11 apiece, Virtus.pro have constantly tested this German camp, have constantly pressed them to their limits. They'll continue to do so as this match rolls on here. Big's map pick, we thought they were going to run away with it for a little bit. I mean, we saw the back and forth affair at the start of the matchup, and then the big round streak turning into 11-all. Virtus.pro not letting Dust2 go down so easy.
Big need more consistency over on this T side. You've won one round so far in the second half, and that's it. VP, they've looked like the stronger team. They've had a little bit more economical balance behind themselves, but this is a swing round where both teams can reset one another.
Big half buy involved. At least have a little bit of cash in reserve, something that could get them back in with a loss bonus. Potential in this round, so VP have their setup in the moment. Passive positions taken. Big have the tunnels, nothing more.
At least there's only one player on A for Big to just overwhelm, but even for Yakinda, it's him.
M4 waiting, looking up, back behind the blue box. Head duck down, nades involved. He still sprays on the Keto, doubles up. Centaurus trades it, and the Orb Buster gets smoked off here. What can he do on the site itself? Nade is a bit too early when it's thrown out. Bomb can cross and get planted, so there's bonus money as well for Big.
This is very winnable for the Big side. 3-on-4 post plant. It all comes down to slowing down the retake.
And now they've got an M4 for Tamsin here. Are they falling away? No, they're repositioning. Okay, I thought for a second they might have gone for a save call. Fine presence back here towards the tunnels, and I believe that Tabson is watching that position. Searson scout. Set and ready for kick-out flash forward. Does catch the man off guard. Deagle out to reface, burst through with his M4. Does tag up kicker in the end. Deagle still pulled out here for Searson. He's kind of pressed into a corner, but does bail his way out for one good frag back. James tagged up heavily as well. Scout gets a secondary frag. Buster gets involved. Searson going the absolutely massive 3 picks for him. Buster trades it back, but he's done enough. A Scout and a Deagle involved. That's more than enough for the round.
Oh, it's an eco. It's a half buy. It's not even a force invest. And VP cannot take the lead. Big. I can't believe they convert that kind of a round. And just the way that Searson ever so slightly repositions himself on the site to give him the angles with the Scout, even the Deagle connections.
Huge, huge play. 12 to 11 for the T side line. Deagle's involved for Virtus.pro. Forced back in with a CT forces, and they have caught vision on the first round already. Searson can't quite land the kill shot. But either way, Bigger at an advantage by default.
Now, Virtus.pro needs something special in a round like this. When you're forced down double eco status and you have to buy up, it's not a situation that anyone wants to be in.
Up on Jane being the only rifle here for Virtus.pro. Trying to see something here over on this B site, but getting nothing out for it. Keto smokes up, suppresses. Wait patiently here for the T side. When do they act?
You can almost feel the pressure, can't you?
Yeah.
Just in this sort of a round, knowing it's a force buy, knowing it's the one that could push Big in the right direction of a 14-11 scoreline. 3 on B could be, depending on how quickly Yakinda gets into position.
Smoke down, up. Looking up, getting top of big box. Sees nothing. Molotov's getting out of dodge. Damage being done to several T-side players. Yakindar and James come up with the kills alongside Buster. Buster still on the boost spot, however, dropping in towards the smokes. The AWP gets involved. So many frags flying away to the CT side, and Big just capitulate. Dwayne shaking his head, and for good reason. That was a disaster.
Yeah, they run into the stack, and just everyone is firing in and around that lurk smoke. Big, they don't have the information to work with. They don't even have a mid-lurk to try and cut some sort of advantage, some sort of rotation. And it's one of the worst rounds to lose at all. Now VP, they could put the pressure on, and I look at that and think that could change the whole complexion of this Dust2 and perhaps push VP into an upset in map 1.
Boost up, James. Looking down range. So ready to deal with the pistols of Big, who are basically down to another half buyer or an eco, deco, whatever you want to call this. It's no rifles except the scout. Have walked very far into the beast site though. Just noticed the map control. VP are giving up so much, and Yakindar has absolutely no idea that he's siphoned off it all alone here. He's just going to get overwhelmed. That's a frag found. VP are so far away from the site.
Yeah, just save. Just don't even get in there. Hold on to the double AWP setup. And it's a situation where mid is just so open. No one has got any idea about that. And Yakindar, he knows too late. That's as simple as.
This is Deagle day. Like, what with these last couple of rounds have just been a little bit samey. Awkward from both Big and Virtus.pro, and you're right, there's no real need or reason to throw these weapons away when Big basically just won the round off the back of a first kill. But why was there no one watching in mid? How are Big allowed to make so much progress up there? Question I'll pose to you for the moment. They're still looking for the exit frags, the Eagles involved in particular. Kicker tagged up. I don't think they'll get contact, so yeah, they don't think they'll get any exit frags. So again, why was there so much map control allowed?
Well, it's because we went for a long take for VP, and you'll always find that on Dust2, if you go for a long take, for a certain amount of time, mid is going to be open, because you're going to have that last player supporting with util to get them out towards blue bin, out towards that pit position, and then later in the round, that's when you can start repositioning back over. And for Big, it just seemed that they had got the perfect timing and had been able to start walking out when that gap was open.
Guns back in for the Virtus.pro camp, of course. Double AWP still in for Buster and James. Krieg in the hands of Tabson as Big gets the gun rounds with AKs in tow. Flash forward, shots in and Searson seeing one player in the mid control, but unable to get the kill on him. Neither a tag, all players at 100 HP.
It's going to come down to the economy game, really, on who starts converting Dust2. James posted up on angle, has not been flashed as of yet. Big just regrouping up from this top mid position.
4 players here. 5th man's watching the long house in case someone wants to push it. No one from VP will do so. It's Kicker, James and Sanji on this side of the map. Kicker trying to take contact here towards elbow. He was back over at ramp. He's going to try to force forward. Nades in. Damage done. Tabson finds the opening kill at least, so there is that. CSN tagged to 53 though. It's 5-on-4 advantage.
Now the City's meanwhile making a bit of an aggressive move out from the lower tunnels. Yakindar sees a couple. How much can he find? Over the burst. Can't quite find anything. Tabson now with 2.
That is heartbreaking, knowing that you got so much out of that backstab, but just unable to connect the shots. And now the AWP of Buster falls back as the M4 Sanji gets overwhelmed. There's all the AWPs to defend against it. Buster with 1 pick back, no more than that. Centaurus overwhelms. James got a save.
What a round for Tabson. 3 kills, and just the way in which that backstab attempt is coming through for Yakindar. Can't quite find the angle and the bullets to find the connection. And then even Tabson just trying to sell the short fake. Ends up with a triple into the round. 1-for-1 trade out for Buster on the B side. James going to get hunted. The AWP's going to fall. And now for Virtus.pro, they have got no money to work with. They have to play for OT.
Great shot from Tabson, of course, the nades inbound doing the damage. Ultimately a triple kill for him.
Oh, they're forcing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's characteristic of VP to do that, right? Like, it's Virtus.pro, you know?
You can't be surprised with this kind of a buy, but it's high risk, high reward.
Yeah. Can't deny that. Can't debate that at all. If you win this round, you stop Big from getting to 15. You could equalize at 14 apiece. But Big of the firepower advantage, so you lose this, you could be going down 16-12. Keto Starts off by showing Kick Up what he's made of. Straight shot, opening frag, all players in long.
And they've got a quick wrap play coming through from Jame out and T-Spawn, but they need to get a little bit of a move on because for Big, they're already starting to think about walking long.
Smokes out to the cross. James AK continues pressing up here. They aren't watching the longhouse itself, so there might be an opportunity here if he can time it right. I think a player is now watching it here, so tabseN, his eyes on backline duty as the main pistols of the A site get ready for the hit.
Jame, he starts clearing out mid, he starts clearing out short. Everyone's attention can now start looking out to long.
Re-smokes down to the cross. Utility involved. Yekindar going to get flashed in here, takes his Deagle out, takes the frag and drops that bomb in the midst of the cross. So tabseN trades it back to a man advantage still for Big. He's very low HP though, and James AK is so close. Going to get Molotov out of positions, and Taurus gets that kill, doubles up, tabseN follows suit. A bit of a moment there when maybe VP could have stolen it back, but ultimately Big come out confident at that point.
Virtus.pro, it seems like maybe just some of the individuals have lacked behind. Kick It, 14 kills. Sanji only on 4 going into round 28. Yekindar and Jame, it's been a little bit of a show for those two guys, but Big have finally got to map point. And this is the perfect opportunity with a force buy for VP in the last round that doesn't get converted to now close out the map.
Yeah, again, high risk, high reward round in the previous, so this is what you get for taking that risk. Scout in for Jame, the only rifle. Deagle's on a force buy, which can still win rounds for VP. We've seen them do it before, but can't hedge your bets on it every single time.
And it might have to just see another gamble stack, some sort of info play, whatever it may be, work together in this one. Close quarters with the Deagles.
Orp CSGO watching. Orp set on the top. Back down towards the mid doors with very little going the way of Keto. Minute and 15. Flashbang going over for Yekindar. We'll try and suppress, but it won't do much.
Even in terms of info, they don't see a massive amount off of that jiggle peak. More util up to the short position, but for Big, they've got so much time to work with and so many nades to work with.
Flashes over. Orp still watching into the mid position. Keeping his eyes on just in case. There's one player, Tizian, that was also watching the longhouse, but main focus is the Deagles on Buster and Kicker. These two players to the A defensive are going to have to hold off against the full-blown execution. Smokes out towards mid just in case. 37 seconds.
It seems like it's a mid to be fake to commit into short.
Seems like initially. What is it in reality though? All 5 players stacked up here. 3 to deal with on the VP side. Can these Deagles hold their hose? The 4th man even joins the fray. Taps blind from Kick Up, doing damage. Nothing else. Drop into the T side. Not going to be seen. Actually, there's one player out here for Keto. AK rounds the corner. Flashbang bails out Sanji. He just gets saved by it. tabseN trades on Buster. AK picked up. Kicker makes it 2 frags. Goes for the triple. Can't quite make it happen, but the Deagles have been set up. 3-on-2 advantage. Now making it 1. And CSGO seeing the jump face tagged up by the scout of Jame and dealt with by the Deagle of Sanji. VP stay alive.
A Big just run the clock a little bit too long there. And for Virtus.pro, they've got the right read. They've got plenty of presence out on the A side, and even for Sanji, he's just not being blinded, or at least Keto was trying to get flashed in towards that position, and instead he's the one that just gets completely flashed, cannot deal with the entries out onto the side. Kick It. What a round this is for him.
Great spray. Truly, that was the round-winning moment. Assisted by the Deagles, sure, but him being set up for that particular transfer and that particular moment in the round. 2 more to go to overtime here for Virtus.pro. Big buyback on round 29. Might not have the same luxuries here for round 30, so be idealistic if they can get it right here.
Hey, Kinder playing in and around the smoke in from mid. You've got to imagine who is going to be the guy to really sort of step up in the early round. Big just putting a fair bit of util out towards short again.
Smoke's back. Suppression over towards that short control, and again, Big happy to run the timer low. Another smoke coming out from mid into the A site. A follow-up as well towards the spawn entrance, so there's a little bit of util being thrown out here. They're indicating they want to go to the A early, but VP are reading this. They're not going to bite the bullet.
Sanji's really out of position, though. He's wide out from Big. Got to get back to safety. Keto with the walkout.
How has he made his way this deep? He's got to catch Kicker. He gets his kill, opens things up. Deals with the first man of the CT side. 2 more out towards long. I'm gonna get a kill desperately, and Tabson just drops in, gets 2 frags. Buster and Yakinda, they will find 1 pick back between them, but it's Yakinda with it all to do. 1v4, he's found his first. Can he get any more? No, he can't. 16-13, Big take map 1.
And a convincing result coming through for Big. Virtus.pro gave him a decent fight, but Tabson, he was just too strong.
Indeed, he was. Truly a great showing from him and a great showing from Big. It was laboured at times, but VP do